What's the worst case of spoiled rotten that you've seen? Jessica had been dating my roommate Tyler for maybe 3 months when she basically moved in without asking. At first, it was just weekends. Then she had a drawer. Then half his closet. By month 2, she was there 7 days a week, eating our food, using our utilities, and contributing absolutely nothing. The breaking point came when our electric bill hit $400, triple what we usually paid. Jessica had been running the AC at 65 degrees all day while we were at work, taking hour-long hot showers and leaving every light on because dark rooms are depressing. When Tyler and I asked her to chip in just $100 for utilities, she laughed in our faces. "That's what boyfriends are for," she said, scrolling through her phone. I watched Tyler's face fall. He was already working 2 jobs to afford his half of rent. Meanwhile, Jessica posted Instagram stories from her $200 nail appointments and $300 shopping sprees, all funded by her parents' credit cards. That night, she crossed the final line. She called a house meeting and presented us with a list of demands. Her basic needs included premium streaming services, organic groceries only, a cleaning service twice a week, and a parking spot for her BMW in our building's garage. Total monthly cost, $1,800. "If you really loved me," she told Tyler, "you'd want me to be comfortable." Tyler was actually considering taking out a loan, so I smiled and said we'd think about it. Jessica spent the next 3 days planning her new luxury lifestyle, telling everyone how she'd trained her boyfriend right. She even started a TikTok series called How to Get Everything You Want from Men. Meanwhile, I did my homework. Turns out Jessica's parents paid for her apartment near campus, but she'd been subletting it for $2,000 a month while living with us for free. She was literally profiting off everyone. 3 days later, while Jessica was at her yoga class, I helped Tyler pack every single thing she owned. We loaded it all into my truck and drove it to her actual apartment, the one she'd been secretly renting out. I'd matched with her tenant on a dating app weeks earlier. Mike was a cool guy who mentioned his nightmare landlord situation. When I realized he was talking about Jessica's apartment, I told him everything. Mike was furious. She'd been charging him $2,000 for a place her parents paid $1,200 for, and she'd violated multiple tenant laws. No lease, no receipts, no maintenance, all cash under the table. We timed it perfectly. As Jessica walked into our apartment expecting Tyler to hand over his credit card for her shopping trip, she found Mike sitting on our couch with printed screenshots of every illegal subletting text she'd sent him. "Your parents will love hearing about your little business," Mike said calmly. "Or we can call it even. I move out today, no questions asked, and you deal with the apartment yourself." Her face went white. Without that rental income, she couldn't afford her lifestyle. She tried calling Tyler, but he'd already blocked her number. She threatened to expose our abuse on social media until I reminded her that fraud charges would look terrible on her law school applications. The last I heard, Jessica was working at the campus bookstore to pay her parents back after they discovered her subletting scheme. Tyler's dating a sweet girl now who actually pays for her own coffee. And that electric bill? Back down to $130, right where it should be.